Okay, we're going to show you how to adjust the BOB yoke so that it goes from fitting the width of a standard BOB quick release to fitting the additional width of a Robert axle for BOB trailers. Obviously, out of the box, the BOB yoke fits standard BOB quick release as far as the width of the dropouts to the bobbins. With the additional width of a thru axle, especially on fat bikes, plus size bikes, you're going to need to stretch the width of the BOB yoke so that it lines up with the thru axle. Okay, so now we're going to bend the BOB yoke so that it will fit the additional width of the thru axle. First thing I'll do is line up the thru axle in there to kind of judge how much width I need to add into the BOB yoke. Then what I like to do is I like to put the BOB yoke down flat on the ground, and then I'll put my foot on the dropout here, grab onto the other side of the BOB yoke, and simply pull it apart until you feel the yoke yield and bend until there's additional width. Then I'll come back with the thru axle and check to see how much more or less I need to do. It's just trial and error until you get it the right width. With some of the wider Robert axles, you're going to have to rebend the dropouts from the BOB yoke so that they are perpendicular to the thru axle. As you spread out the yoke, obviously you're going to lose that angle a little bit. So take a bench vise, adjust it so it'll grab just the dropout, snug it up, and then just give a tug and just realign these dropouts so that they're perpendicular. You can do that for both sides if necessary. Just give it a slight little tug until it bends, sets up. Once it's adjusted, it'll drop right onto the thru axle nice and easy.